Did you buy an iPhone 6 Plus, 6S Plus, or 7 Plus for the bigger screen only to get it and realize that the icons are still small and the keyboard is still small? Well, I'm going to show you how to change that. Hey guys, Devin from Helper Geeks, and I'm going to show you how to make things bigger on your Plus model iOS device. And it's very useful because a lot of times people buy these phones, they need the bigger screen because they have a hard time seeing, they have a hard time typing on the smaller keyboards, and they still have the same problem. Once they pull this out of the box, the icons are still small, the keyboard is still small, and they have a hard time typing on it still, so they always have to move it sideways. But now you have a different problem. On the Plus model for iOS devices, the keyboard's actually harder to type on sideways. So I'm going to show you how to make the keyboard a little bit bigger, how to make your text a little bit bigger, and it's very simple. We go into Settings. From Settings, you're going to scroll down to Display and Brightness, and we're going to focus on the bottom part down here. You have three options. You have Text Size, Bold Text, and View. So the text size is the quickest way to make things change. You see at the top there, it gives you a sample of the text. Shows what your text is going to look like throughout the device. So if we set it to the highest, and we go into this, boom, bumps everything up big time. So if you have trouble reading, that's a really nice option. Maybe you like the keyboard being smaller. Well, now you have the smaller keyboard with the bigger text, so you can use that. But if that keyboard is still an issue for you, then increasing the text size is not going to help. So what do? Well, we're going to go back down and bring that down to the regular, the standard. We're going to come down. The bold, I'm going to skip over. That's very simple. It just bolds your keyboard, and it bolds some apps, the text in some apps. Not a big deal there. It might help if you have trouble with that finer detail font. That'll help bold that up for you. But the next thing we're going to look at is the view, right at the very bottom. So this is your standard view. This is your out-of-the-box view. On the right-hand side, it shows zoom. Now you can see what things look like, some samples. So if we go to zoom, see that? It bumps up the apps quite a bit, the size of the apps. There's less space in between. And it gives you an idea of what you're going to get text-wise, how much bigger it's going to get. So we're going to hit set, use zoom. And when it comes back on, we'll notice that the icons are going to be much bigger. There. The icons are a lot bigger. There's a lot less space in between them. And more importantly, the keyboard is bigger. The keyboard is significantly bigger. It pops up a little bit. I really notice it when I use my Gboard keyboard. It gets really nice and big, and I like it that big, so I use the zoom mode for the keyboard alone, but I don't like how big the text gets. So one thing I do is I will go back in after applying the zoom mode, going into text, dropping the text down to a standard size, and now I have the standard size with the larger keyboard, which is what I like because it's easier for me to type on. I hope that was helpful, guys. I know a lot of people have struggle with the smaller keyboards and the smaller icons and the smaller text. They get the bigger screen and they're disappointed because it's not really what they were hoping for. Well, there's ways you can go in and manipulate that. I just showed you a really easy way to do that. So that's it, guys. I know a lot of people struggle with the smaller text and the smaller keyboard on the Plus models. They buy it for the big screen and then they're very disappointed in it when it's still the same challenge they had with the smaller devices. If you got something out of this, guys, leave a like. We'd love for you to leave a comment too. We want to interact with you guys. And as always, please subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.